Now tune in, church. Tune in. I want to ask you, not someone you know, you personally, a question. When you've just gone through a beating, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, what sort of state are you in? Where's your mind at? Where's your heart at? When we cling to Christ in our trials, we find His strength. And His strength enables us to do incredible things, like encourage others even while we're still recovering from our own trials, or while we're still in the middle of them. When we don't cling to Christ in our trials, let me tell you what happens. We become self-centered. You see, we have this illogical idea of what it means to be self-centered. We think that if we feel like trash about ourselves, then we can't be self-centered. But the reality is, the more self-centered you are, the more like trash you will feel. Because you and I are not glorious and amazing. Far from it. And so the more I focus on myself, the more all I think about is myself, the more all I meditate on is myself, the more depressed and downcast I will become. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But when I focus on Jesus, the one who is glorious and amazing and beautiful and good, I find my spirit lifted. And I find myself filled with His strength. Paul and Barnabas had been brutally beaten less than 24 hours earlier. Do you know what I noticed they didn't do? They didn't skip church and see if anyone would notice. They didn't go home and wait to see if anyone cares enough to call or text. Guess nobody loves me. They didn't check out of life, start eating ice cream right out of the tub, binge Netflix in the dark, and then tell people, I'm just going through a lot right now. They didn't run back to their favorite sins. What did they do? They sought fellowship with their brothers and sisters. They shared what they had gone through with them. They prayed together. They worshiped together. And they testified to the Lord's goodness, faithfulness, and power. I'm going to speak plainly. I know this can happen to men and women, but women do this way more than men. This is a pastor of 20 years speaking. I see it far too often. People going through a hard time, I'll just withdraw, sit back, wait and see if anyone calls. Let's see if anyone loves me. Guess nobody cares. Because I love you, I have to tell you, grow up. Grow up. Mature in the Lord. Seek out fellowship. Stop waiting for someone to read your mind. Stop acting, whether you realize it or not, like the entire universe revolves around you and someone should have sensed a disturbance in the force and come to check on you. The cosmos is out of whack. I wonder if something's going on in their life. The world does not revolve around any of us. It just doesn't. If you are hurting, seek out fellowship. Do it. Do not sit back and blame other people. You take the initiative. If you're involved in a church, if you're a member of a church, you have people who love you. We tell all our members, part of the expectation of being a member, any other member in this church can call you. Guys, girls, and say, I'm going through a lot right now. Can we just meet? Can you just pray with me? You have to say yes. Whoever you are, if you're involved in church, you're a member of a church, there's multiple people waiting to pray with you, to encourage you. But do not go to the party, stand in the corner, and wait for somebody to ask you to join the fun. Take the initiative. Be mature in the Lord. You will find there are amazing people who love you and are waiting to invest in you and carry your burdens with you. When we tell someone else about the goodness of God, we're not only preaching to them, we're preaching to ourselves. Do you know that? This is the power of singing worship songs. This is why it matters that you actually sing out loud. You're preaching to other people through song, and you're preaching to yourself through song. Some of us desperately need to grow in this area and learn how to preach to ourselves by testifying out loud to the goodness of God in difficult times. If you allow yourself to become self-centered in your trials, you'll only become more miserable. But if you will cling to Christ, if you will seek out fellowship, you'll find His strength flowing through you, and you'll find that you not only have the strength to endure the trial, but to encourage others even as you're going through it. How do you encourage others in a trial? Oh man, it looks like you're going through a lot right now. I am, but the Lord is with me. He hasn't left me. He's sustaining me. Preach to others, preach to yourself. That's what Paul and Silas did, and what a sweet example they set for us.